Hi everyone, my name is Hossein Rahnama. I am from the upcoming 51st state of the United States, still known as Canada. I have the opportunity to work with Davos at MIT Media Lab as a visiting professor and founder of a company called Flybits, and had the pleasure of working with Carlos and David over the past years. Until about a year ago, I knew very little of space until I met Deva and a lovely partner. And then after that, I became very interested in interplanetary physics. And my background is in AI, and started to read a lot about it. And now working on a framework at MIT Media Lab called Solar System Inspired Framework for Building AI Ecologies. So what that is that when you think about the advent of these large language models, foundation models, new models, there is a lot that we can learn from space. So if you think about your organization in the middle and think about different orbits, in the first orbit, you can use models that are very much based on your privacy preserved data. You're not sharing those with anyone. You control them, you encrypt them, because those are your new asset classes. On the second orbit, you can have models that are very fine-tuned for doing your business or performing activities such as risk models, optimization models. And it's the third orbit that you have the very large language models. So instead of putting all the parameters and all the information in these very large models that many of them are closed, you can invest and innovate around how these planets, aka models, are talking to each other. So if this year you have 20 models, and then in a year you have 100, and then 500 after that, this ecology that we call it orbital AI can give you the ability to plug in these models and allow them to communicate with each other. Mathematical models, statistics models, large language models, instead of putting in one. So I'm honored that I'm on a space panel. I feel the person with the least amount of knowledge on the topic, but at least I was very much inspired by the physics of space and how it can help us to build new data and AI ecologies.
Thank you very much. I have a question which, due to my...
I think one thing that is coming out of this panel is how cross-disciplinary this space research can be. We are announcing tomorrow as part of Media Lab a program called Sapien, like it's Sapien with AI, like human and AI are collaborating. And the foundation of that is to build key technologies, and we give it to different verticals and industries and let them to build competitive advantage with that. And we had 2 undergraduate students interested in space last semester. They built something on a capability that we call perspective-aware AI. Like imagine every single one of us will be represented by a human AI agent. And they mapped the International Space Station, and their view was that as leisure space travel is becoming more pervasive, people with different cultures will need to learn in advance how they can kind of coexist in such a difficult and confined space. And it was fascinating for me to watch, because not really knowing much about the physics up there, these folks applied our technologies, used graphs, and now you can go and look at the space station through the lens of others, from a cultural point of view, from a preferential point of view. And their view is that if they build such simulation capabilities, the experience up there will be much more pleasant or more tolerable. So one thing that you're referring to is this cross-disciplinary imperative of how AI, data, decentralization coming together, but the human is in the center, which is a great anchor point on your book.
Absolutely. And the bottom line